Everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is NGumah, founder of PATTERNOLOGY LAB. In today's video, we'll be going over some of the trades that I took later last week and actually today on Monday. One of those trades was an easier trade, a little bit more obvious, and the other ones are a little bit more tricky and a lot more difficult. So stay tuned. Before we begin, if you're new to this channel, definitely hit that subscribe button below and also hit that notification bell. That way you get notified whenever we release new videos. It really helps the channel grow and it allows more people to get this knowledge as well. Alright everybody, the first trade that we're going to go over right now is on Tesla. Let's dive into take or swim and see exactly how I approach that trade. This right here is Tesla on a daily chart, and the trade that I took was actually on the 11th, right on Thursday. And the reason why I took that trade is because of this. We're gonna zoom in right there and we're gonna make this one bigger like that, right? And as you can see, there is the first gap right there, okay? Followed by some consolidation, followed by an exhaustion gap up here, and then another exhaustion gap. And if you look at that specific day, which was Wednesday, let's change the time frame to a 5-minute time frame and let's zoom in here, right? So everybody who went in long right here made a lot of money. And then in this entire region are a bunch of FOMO buyers, right? Who are buying Tesla above $1,000, expecting it to go higher. Okay. And don't get me wrong, I thought Tesla was gonna go higher too as soon as $968 broke. I thought there was gonna be a massive short squeeze, but what happened on Thursday was actually kind of surprising. As you can see right here, Tesla just took an immediate downturn, right? And this downturn right here strikes fear into the hearts of those FOMO buyers. So that was immediately what I was thinking as soon as I saw Tesla drop overnight that day. So I decided to just wait patiently and see exactly how Tesla would behave, if it would actually go back above and continue to make new highs, or if it would just reject a bunch of key levels and keep dropping off and fading. And what happened during that day is that's exactly what it did. It went up, right? Just to fill this gap right there, just to fill this level from here all the way down to here, just to fill that level. And then as soon as it filled it, it just faded all the way back down. And I was just waiting to see exactly how it would behave. If you were paying attention to Tesla, you can clearly see that there is a pattern right there, okay? Right here. And that is not when I got in. I just wanted to point that out because I literally just noticed it. But yeah, there's a pattern right here. But I got in here. I got in right at the end of the day. If we take a look at the Robinhood account, again, this right here is Tesla, and we're gonna scroll down to the history. You can see I bought this put right here, this $750 put that expires on this Friday actually, for $297, and I bought that put exactly at 2:56 p.m. which is right in here in that last candle. And I decided to just hold overnight because I thought the stock would just fade. If we take a look at it from a different perspective on a daily chart, we can clearly see, you can see right here a bearish hammer, bright red. And what I was anticipating was a continuation of the bearish move because some of these people would have fear and sell the next day. And that is exactly what happened. If we change the time frame back to 5 minutes and we look at what happened on Friday, as you can see, it opened up at the same level, and then immediately after like 9 o'clock, it just started to fade. And I decided to just hold that contract all the way until an appropriate price target. If we go on the Robinhood account again, we can see that I sold this put at exactly 9:42. And 9:42 was in here. Yeah, right in this candle right there, okay? And then as soon as I saw this thing fell to break above the 9 SMA, I decided to get back in right at 9:53, which is again in this candle right here, right in the middle of this candle. And I covered that call right in here. I covered it for literally $30 more because I thought it could go just a little bit lower at 10.12. And if you look at the chart again, 10.12 is actually in here. I missed the first bottom by just a little bit. If we zoom in, 10.12 is actually in here. I missed the first bottom by just a little bit, and then I missed the second bottom by quite a lot. This is a lot in premium right there. And there's definitely some room for improvement on this trade. Like, I could have just done this. I could have just noticed that there was a floor right there, right? And then add as soon as the floor broke somewhere around here, and then hold those puts and sell the first one here and sell the second one here. That would have been the most appropriate and lucrative trade to take. So that's the first trade. The second trade I took was on BA. Now let's take a look at BA. This right here is BA on a 5-minute chart. I was actually kind of sad about missing this entire short position, but I decided to just wait patiently for the perfect opportunity to dip buy this thing. All right. And if we dive into the Robinhood account, this right here is BA. And if we go on to the history, where's the history? Click on show more. And you can see right here, I bought the first call on BA on the 11th, on Thursday. Yes, on Thursday. I bought this call right there, which expired on Friday, this last Friday, for $274. And I bought that one 4 minutes after the market opened on Thursday the 11th. And if you go back to Think or Swim, it's because of this. If I'm a short seller, shorting this thing pre-market, right? And then I see this, the stock is moving in my favor. I am happy, I'm making money, right? I'm short selling and I want the stock to go down even further. And then as soon as the market opened and I see this massive bar right here, as a short seller, I'm going to cover. I'm not gonna wait and sit around and see what happens next. No, there was a lot of strength in that candle. And the reason why there was a lot of strength in that candle is because of this. If you go way back to the daily chart and we zoom in here, right? Actually, no, the 4-hour chart is much better. If we take a look at the 4-hour chart and we take this drawing tool and then we draw a trend line from the very top of the initial move, right? The initial 100% move. And then we change the time frame to the 5-minute time frame. And then we go back to that day. I was expecting some type of support in the zone right there. Just a little bounce, especially that we got close to that level. And that's the reason why I got in long with that call. And I decided to sell that call, the one that I bought for $274. I sold it at $8.49, which is right in this candle. Let me change that to the 1-minute time frame and then zoom in here. Yeah, so I sold it right in here, right? Right as soon as it started to fade and show some weakness, I decided to take my call for, I believe, an 80% profit, which is not bad. The next thing that I wanted BA to do as soon as I sold near the top, I wanted it to just consolidate, right? And then break that high. And then if it broke that high somewhere along the day, then I may have considered getting back in. But what happened next is that it just started to fade and then fade some more. And then later during the day at around like 1 p.m., I noticed something very interesting. I noticed this. If we change it to the 5-minute time frame, right? You can clearly see that there is a very bearish pattern right there, which as a short seller, I constantly look for them, right? And then the entry for this was here as a short seller. But since, as I told all of you in a previous video about the PDT rule, since I always keep the account under the PDT rule, I have to do these mental gymnastics about which play offers the most money, as I mentioned in the previous video. So to me, going in short right there and wasting the day trade, right, just to make that chunk of money, which isn't that large since there wasn't enough downside potential, I decided to pass on that one, right? And then get back in long at the price that I, as a short seller, would cover, right? If we look at the Robinhood account, we can see that I got back in that same day with another call, the 225 call for $175. I got that one at exactly 256. As a short seller, I would cover my positions either here or here at the close. I would not want to go short anymore because I have traded this pattern so many times that I should know exactly where the bottom should be. So it didn't make any sense for me to waste the day trade to go short. So I decided to do the opposite and go long. And what happened next is that the stock gapped up high, right? This right there was a massive move. It was a $20 move to the upside. So it gapped up the next day, right? And I decided to sell that contract that I bought here at the close. I sold it for exactly $320 the next day at 8:43 a.m. which is in this candle. Let me change that to the 1 minute time frame so that we can really see when I got out. I got out right here. Right here. This is where I got out. Right next to the top. Not exactly at the top, but right next to the top. As you can see, this one was a little bit tricky because there's multiple factors that I had to take into consideration before making each of those trades. And that is exactly what I was talking about in my previous video about the PDT rule. When you're under the PDT rule, it's gonna make you think like that. It's gonna make you think about every outcome of every trade and the decisions you intend to make. It also forces you to actually take a moment and think about the people on the other side and what they may do at specific price levels. And lastly, the last trade that we're gonna go over, all right? Let's take a look at that. The last trade that I took was on NVAX. All right, and this right here is NVAX. And that trade, I also took that one, I believe on Friday. And the reason why I took it is because of a very, very, very clean pattern, all right? I constantly look for it. It was there. It was very, very clean. Let me change it to the 1 hour time frame. That way we can see exactly where it is. And the 1 hour time frame has more candles than the 4 hour. So if we zoom in here, we can clearly see that the pattern is right there, right here, right there, okay? And to be honest, I was a little bit short biased on that pattern, right? And then I remembered the trade that I took on Bank of America, which I lost money on, all right? And that trade is actually right here. It happened in the middle of April. And the same thing happened again. And I got trapped right in here, right there, right here, right in this hammer, okay? I remember that. And I decided not to make the same mistake on NVAX, okay? So I decided to go long. If we take a look at NVAX again, right? And we take a look at the Robinhood account, this right here is NVAX, Novavax. And if we scroll down to the history, you can see that I went long with this call right here, this $51 call that expired on Friday for $95. I bought it at exactly 2:49 p.m. and 2:49 p.m. on Friday the 12th is right in, let me change it to the 5 minute, is right in here. I bought it right there, right in this candle before the move up, and I held it patiently today on Monday, right? Until it reached my price target of $51, just anything above $51. And if you look on here on the Robinhood account, I sold it for about a 210% profit, maybe 220. And I sold that one at 9:22 a.m., which is, let me see, let me change that to the 1 minute time frame, which is literally right at the top here, right there. That is where I sold. So yeah, these are the trades that I took late last week and today. If you have any questions, definitely put them in the comment section below. I will get back to you as soon as I can, or I will make another video about it and explain it to you and for everybody else who's watching. If you're new to this channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. And also don't forget to follow us on Instagram. I do post the patterns that I spot daily, and I do post my entries and my exits on there as well. My name is Paul with Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see y'all on the next one. Take care.